human rights policies or departments. So if you look into the policies of the government, you will have an idea about what are the developmental policies that is taken by the Indian government. So this gives you an outline and then in-depth knowledge on the subject. And it is very, very important to have such knowledge, because you never know in net. It is very difficult to say this is how it is going to be. I mean, this is how it will be asked, or this from this particular area many questions will be asked. But that randomly, if you just, I mean, if you just go into the question, you will get a vague idea. But it is very difficult to say, like, this is very important, this is not important. Okay, I hope if you have already attempted net exam, you will know about it much better. So this is a few guidelines which I would like to I wanted to give you. And next is, I will come to my topic, that is development communication. So first thing that you have to see before you could get into any kind of preparations, it is highly important to go through the syllabus that is being provided by UGC. Okay, so you have syllabus for each and every subject for that matter. So you have to go to mass communication, and then you have a subject for your particular what is that stream in which, or a subject in which you're taking up your net. So this syllabus, I would just briefly tell you what exactly the uh, point in the syllabus talks about. Okay, so the first thing is concept, and one more thing, if you look into the syllabus copy of development communication from different colleges, it is slightly different. Okay, but here when it comes to net, it is slightly different from what we teach in the class. So it is important to follow the syllabus of 2-3 colleges, and also the syllabus which is being given by the UGC board. So the first thing that it deals with is the concept and definition of development communication, role of media and journalism in society, and characteristics of Indian society, demographic and sociological impact of communication media and journalism, media and specific audiences. Here what happens, development is understood in different ways. Okay, so development of human being and development of institutions. Okay, and development of social development, economic development, and political development as such. So this development for communication and media, it is with regard to your media and what your media plays a major role in communicating the developmental issues. Okay, and in what way media is playing a role of catalyst in bringing in and influencing the policies of the government with respect to, I mean, with regard to the problems that we have in the society. So when you understand development communication, you should understand in a holistic manner. Like, you shouldn't limit yourself to the social development, economic development, and then political development. It is equally important to look into all the aspects, all the spheres that you have in development. So the concept of development, again, there are different definitions given by various scholars. So it is very difficult because what is that? I can't say, like, Rogers development is something which is going to be asked in net exam. So you have to look into the major what is that? Development communicators, like, communication scholars. So you should look into these people and then make a note of it. Okay, so try to have a separate book for your net. This I'm telling you out of my experience. Okay, you keep a different book for it, and then wherever you come across any question, okay, it should click, like, oh, this is something, like, you should smell in each and everything that you read. Okay, this might be the question that might come in the net exam. Once you start preparing, once you get into it, everything, every line that you read, you should try to derive a question out of it. So that is when, for me, I mean, my own experience, if I have to share, like, if you are able to derive questions from whatever you read, So your preparation is, you're going in the right path. Okay, so if you know that, it is easy for you to prepare for your NET exam. So you should derive questions. That is when you will prepare thoroughly. Okay, so that you have to do. So the concept and also development, I mean definitions, you have to understand. So there are different concepts, like, you know, development, as I said earlier. So there are different concepts you have to look into. And then you have media and journalism. Okay, the media and journalism you should read in terms of what is it? The projects, okay, like a site, KEDA projects, what was done by, media, and then how media influenced the national developmental policies. And then initially the very first motto, or what is that, the reason for which television was introduced, or any media for that matter introduced in India, it was for the national development. So you should look into from the beginning, how this television has played a role, how radio has played a role in bringing in development, okay, social, economic and political development in our society. That you have to look into. What did KEDA project did, and then what did site did, what was the results, okay, how did it influence the whole setup of our society, to what level it was successful. So that you have to look into. Okay, so newspapers have also played a very great role in development communication, in communicating the developmental issues to the public. So that you have to look into as a whole, not just print. So even your social media for that matter. So you have to talk about in the syllabus, you also have, like, how social media has created revolutions, okay, through the campaigns, or through addressing issues, a collective collective collectively, what are the different areas which was addressed by people, okay, when there was a need. Okay, so revolutionary movement, okay, the social movements which has happened through your social media is also very, very important. So on that basis, you have to make points. What are the things that you have to, I mean, what are the movements or the campaigns that has happened through media, social media, new media, how new media is contributing to it. So that you have to keep an eye. So whenever you see something, you read something in the newspaper, so please write it down. Okay, that might come to anything that you see around. You should feel that this will come in NET exam. So you should write it down and then practice it again and again. Then comes to the development and social change issues and post-colonial conceptions. So here, social change is something which happens every day, every minute, every frame. Okay, every frame it is happening. There is a change. It is a process. It is a transformation that in any society it should happen. If there is no change, okay, if there is no any social change as such happening in a society, then it is not a society. Okay, so if there is a society, there is a social change. There should be social change. So development and then social change, here you should understand it in a way that how these developmental activities that happens in a particular society is contributing to the social change. I hope you're able to understand. Hello, can someone respond to me, because I'm just feeling like hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hmm.
Yeah, ma'am, we can understand you.
Okay, so yeah, so if there is any doubts, you can just stop me anywhere. Okay,
Sure, ma'am.
so
Sure.
I'll just go back to, and then I'll explain you what it is. Okay, so far I feel it is fine. Okay, so development and then social change. So as I said, you should look into that aspect. Then issues and post-colonial conceptions. So you should understand development communication in terms of third world countries. Okay, please. It is very, very important. Whenever you're talking about development, you should not talk about the development that is happening in US. Okay, and development that happens in US is totally different from the development that happens in country like India and third world country. So you should always read and then understand the concepts based on the third world country. Okay, and the challenges that is being faced by third world country, it is totally different from the first and the second countries. Okay, I hope you already know, like, the basics, which are all the first countries and second countries and third world countries. Okay, so how this post-colonial conceptions try to understand this development, because uh, the development which Britishers spoke, okay, wish to do in our country, it is totally different from what Gandhi or Ambedkar, okay, or Lohia for that matter, okay, these people, these visionaries, these social reformers thought about is totally different. Okay, that I would be dealing at the end. The last slides would deal about, deal with your Gandhi and then Ambedkar. So what I'm trying to tell you is, so development, please have a broader understanding. Don't limit yourself. Okay, the minute you limit yourself, you cannot understand. If you don't study, like, third world countries and the challenges that was faced by third world countries after that is post colonial period, is totally different. That is why country like India, like, they had lot of national policies, developmental programs, in order to address the problems that we had after problems that we had post colonial period. So this is very highly important. So please keep your eye and your ears open and then see what you're reading. Okay, so that is very important, highly important. Then comes your deconstruction of dominant paradigm of communication and development. Why are they talking about why deconstruction of your dominant paradigm becomes so very important? Because the dominant paradigm of communication and development, what does it say? Can anyone say? Can anyone just tell me in one or two lines? I believe in participatory approach to development. So can someone just tell me, like, what the dominant paradigm of communication and development talks about, and why do we deconstruct it? What do you mean by deconstruction? Hello, Karmal ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
should I mute or unmute? Who should
They
do
can
it?
they can
Mute themselves. Yeah,
unmute themselves.
yes. Can someone tell me about uh, hello, Sanorita, Anushri, Praveen sir. Hello. Hello, am I audible? Karmal ma'am, I'm just wondering if I'm audible for them.
Okay. If you're not audible, please then write it in the chat box. If Mamta ma'am is not audible.
Hello. Yes, they have. Can't hear. Okay, we can hear you, ma'am. But Praveen sir has mentioned that he can't hear me. Can you just see it, Karmal ma'am?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
But one of them have mentioned that they can hear me. Can you please answer? Like, otherwise it will be like, from one side
Yeah. If you
explanation.
can. Okay. It's audible now.
It's audible now?
Now he have written in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Can
If you have any problem, please type it in the chat box. Okay. You can unmute yourself and you can ask doubts as well.
So is Mr. Praveen here. Miss Anushri. Mr. Selva.
Ma'am, I think you can continue.
No, there is no point in continuing if they are not audible now. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Praveen. Yes, audible. Mr. Selva, can you hear me? Can you please talk back? Okay, I won't ask you any questions. Please talk back. Hello. Okay. Okay. Yes. So, okay. So the next, okay. So I said, okay. So deconstruction of dominant paradigm of communication is very, very important. I tell you, it is like, sometimes I can say a compulsory question. One question will definitely be there. I mean, the same question they won't repeat. You can never expect a repeated question in NET exam. Okay, so but here and there they will just reframe it, and different aspect of development, dominant paradigm is asked. So that's the reason I'm stressing on it. So deconstruction of dominant paradigm of communication and development. Dominant paradigm talks about a trickle down or top down approach to the development. That is, according to this dominant paradigm of communication, it says that the 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 creamy layer of the society, if they become rich, automatically the people who under them, the subordinates, will also become rich. Okay, so that is what the dominant paradigm talks about, roughly. Okay, so later this was deconstructed. The society deconstructed it, because it is not always a top bottom approach. So there are different approaches that a society should understand in order to have development in the nation, I mean in the national development. So deconstruction of dominant paradigm is very important, because it is being deconstructed. It is like unlearn. Okay, you have learned something, it is not it doesn't have any value now, the whatever you have learned. Okay, whatever you're practicing, whatever the teaching method that you're practicing, it is not applicable, or it is not, you're going to relearn, unlearn it. So you have learned, you delete whatever you have learned, and then you are going to relearn. So that is what happens in the society, and that should happen in order to have a positive development in a society like India. Okay, so what is it? So this is your this one. I mean, okay, so next point in your unit, it talks about corporatization of development, corporate social responsibility, non-state actors in development, mass campaigns by NGOs, Government of India, international agencies and corporate, paradigms and discourse of development communication. So this is very important whenever you think of development. There are a lot of civil societies which comes into picture, which has played and very, very critical role in bringing in development. Okay, it is not possible for any government to penetrate into the very last person of the society. Okay, so NGOs does it. So the corporate social responsibility, the concept of social responsibility has made the corporate companies to put in money, to invest money on the development of various areas. I mean, education. Now Infosys is contributing so much of money on having they have a lot of what is that libraries. Okay, so the mobile libraries they have, and they have constructed a lot of schools. It is part of their social responsibility, that is corporate social responsibility. It is popularly called as CSR, and I hope you all know about it. And then non-state actors development and campaigns. If you look into the campaigns, so there are a lot of campaigns which has come into picture so far. Like, a lot of NGOs, they have initiated campaigns in order to bring awareness among people about education, about importance of education, about girl child, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of uh, NGOs, they have campaigns. So you should have a knowledge about the campaigns also, and it is in detail. I have put it in detail in the last few slides. So then you have international agencies, okay, and paradigm and discourse of development communication. What do you mean by discourse, by the way? So discourse is nothing but what is that? It is a process. What is the language that you're using, okay, in order to communicate the development communication? Okay, discourse is very important. Say, for example, you have a tribal discourse. So when it comes to tribes, there is a particular language in which people talk. Okay, like even if you go into the documents of the government, okay, so they are like, uneducated, or they are uncivilized. The word uncivilized, it is a discourse that we have about tribes. Okay, it's a tribal discourse that we have said that they are uncivilized, but based on what ground have you said, like, they are uncivilized? So discourse is very, very important for that matter. And then you have emergence of global civil societies, okay, public sphere, global communication system. Okay, this is very important. I have elaborated in the slide. Okay, then you have the last unit is about leading influences of social reform in India, and they have mentioned few social reformers, and you have to read all of them. Okay, so then we will get into, so how I have planned my session is, so I have taken random questions from question papers, okay, the previous question papers of NET, to give you an idea, like, how questions are asked in the NET exam. That is very, very important, and that is the first step that you have to take up when you're preparing for your NET exam. So a quick glance of what, okay, so we will have a quick glance of, any idea what are we glancing? Hello, participants? Hello, Karmal ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I think there is some serious issue because Sachin Banner, Mr. Sachin Banner.
You can unmute yourself and you can respond.
Charlotte, at least Anurita, can you speak?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? It's Senorita, ma'am.
Yes. I got it. Yeah. I just wanted to know, what are we going to glance?
Ma'am, my connection just got lost in the middle.
Okay,
so
I think you rejoined, no?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I was discussing about the unit, and then now we are going to have a quick glance of questions. Okay,
ma'am, sure.
This is something which I really feel important. Okay, so now the first question that you're seeing here, okay, the Latin American scholars wanted development communication to be interpreted under. Okay, so now I told you, so the but Latin Americans becomes important because, their connection with India. Okay, so here the Latin American scholars, they have asked like this, okay, interpreted under these theories. What is that theory in which they have interpreted? Okay, so any idea what is the answer? See, now they've not given, like, you should understand like how it is being asked. Okay, so interpreted under these theories, they have given some theories. Okay, so you should be very careful when you're preparing for your NET exam. What is development for Latin Americans? Okay, how have they interpreted development communication? How Indians have interpreted, Indian scholars have interpreted. Okay, so like that you have to interpret it. I mean, like that you have to prepare. Okay, so for this, answer is dependence theory. So I'm just like going through, then you will have an idea why I have taken questions. So next is, in the developmental context, the opinion leaders are considered. Okay, have you ever thought of have you ever derived such questions when you're reading? No, I don't think. Okay, because we usually concentrate on very difficult questions. Okay, usually when we read, the first line of something will become a question. Okay, I'll show you, I have got examples for you. Okay, so in developmental context, the opinion leaders are considered to be what? Okay, now the answer for this is cosmopolite. Okay, but it is very important for you to understand what is orthodox, what is non-innovative, what is normative. Okay, so NET exam, what happens, your options also becomes very, very important to understand. Through your options, you will learn a lot. Okay, this orthodox leads to some other reading. Okay, normative leads to some other reading. Don't limit yourself like, okay, this is the question and this is how it has been asked. Okay, so let me jot it down, and then you just practice. And some people, I have seen people by-hatting the question and answers. There is no point in by-hatting question and answers, because you're not going to get the same questions for your exam, I mean NET exam. So opinion leaders are considered like, this simple terms are very, very important. Okay, so this is how you have to look into. So then you have communication for sustainable development focuses on. Okay, so don't you think it is a very first line of your sustainable development? Have you ever read about sustainable development? Hello? 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 Okay, yes. So Mr. Praveen has said, yes. So when you read, I'm sure, like, when you read about sustainable development, the very first line, okay, of your sustainable development, like, it says that it focuses on, okay, sustainable development focuses on. It is a very basic introduction to sustainable development. So now, what I'm trying to say is, don't neglect anything. Okay, so even your first sentence of sustainable development becomes so very important. Then you might ask me like, how do we know? Because sustainable development, there are n number of what is it, information that you get about sustainable development written by ways. There are n number of books about sustainable development, but how do we know? Like, so that's the reason you should keep looking at the questions. Okay, that is when you understand, like, what can become a question. Okay, that is very important. So development for sustainable development, okay, sorry, communication for sustainable development focuses on transformative learning. Okay, so then it is equally important to look into the other options given. Okay, participatory rejection, decision making at apex level, application of corporate technique. Okay, this is also very important to look into and understand what exactly it is. Then comes this modern, okay, for this, I want you to see this particular development communication. Okay, 1 minute. Give me a second, please. Okay. Okay, can you see this? Are you able to see this? Carmel, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
1 minute. One minute, 1 minute. Okay. Yes, can you see this now? Carmel, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, now I want you to go through this paragraph. Okay, please, I'll give you a minute. Please go through this and then tell me what kind of question can you derive from this. Hello, Carmel, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You're able to see this, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If you are not able, please type it in the chat box. Okay, if you're not.
So if you are able to see, then they will
I
also
can
be able
see.
to see.
I can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The highlighted one, modernization theory.
Yeah, yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. I hope you're all working on it. Hello. I think Sanorita has a network problem. She's not in the. Yeah, is it done? Guys, please. Can you please make it fast? It's just a small exercise I want to do because it's very important actually. Yes, concerns raised by yes, concerns raised by Smelser on structural differences. Okay, to an extent, good. Good, Charlotte. Some more questions, please. I'm trying to making it interactive so that, you know, it's evening and you have already heard, you've already like, you know, did one session. So I want it to be little interactive. That's the only reason. Okay, otherwise you'll be simply preparing for your exams, but you won't know, like, you know, yeah. Yes. How does modernization define modern society? Okay. Okay. Anyone else? I mean, other than Charlotte? Result of structural differences. Okay. Views of Smelser on modernization. Yes, Praveen? Okay. Result of structural differences. Okay. So now, why Charlotte and Selva is talking about structural differences? Is there any common like, you know, feeling that you have towards structural differentiation? Why structural differentiation? If you could talk, it would be really, really great. You know, it takes time in through chat box. Charlotte, can you please unmute and speak?
Hi, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Charlotte. Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, to be very honest, I actually haven't understood much of it in detail. Just from the peripheral knowledge that I have, I think usually it's talking about, you know, the structure of a society. So he's talking about structural differentiation
Differences.
in, yeah, because if there is a difference in, you know, the hierarchy or the culture in the society, or as in the structure entirely, then it will disturb the, you know, the usual functions of the economy, of politics, of social changes. So that's what I've understood.
Wonderful. Yes. Anyone else? Mr. Praveen Kumar? Yes, Charlotte, like the way you have understood, so the hitting point there is structural differences. Can we go back and see the question there? Yes. Can you see this? Can someone read it for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Charlotte.
Development for some modernization theorists is evolution, differentiation, discrimination, affirmation.
Yes.
So the answer, may I try?
Yes. Answer
Yeah,
is?
I think differentiation.
Very good. The answer is differentiation.
Thank you.
But very good, Charlotte. Very happy.
Thank you, ma'am.
So did it help you? Like, are you able to understand what I'm trying to, like, you know, look into the questions?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes.
the options? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what I wanted you to understand. Okay. So
Okay.
there will be a point which triggers you. It should trigger you. Okay. What is it talking about? If you're reading modernization theory, it is not simply reading modernization theory and understand what is modernization theory. You should also understand what is it going to cause. Okay, so differentiation. So evolution doesn't come under modernization. Discrimination also comes under, but why is it differentiation there? Okay, that is because that how will you come to know when you read a lot of stuff. Okay, and you should make a point. Okay. Okay, guys. So when you're reading something, say for example, the paragraph which I highlighted. Okay, so you read that, then you should write it there. For some theories, like, you know, Smelser or whoever it is. So what is it? Okay, for each and every one, what it is. So whenever you read, you should make a note of it. So that is when you can crack net. Okay, that is why I said you should smell, you should eat, you should drink. Net exam if you want to pass. Okay, yes. So thank you so much for the you know um the way you respond is really, you know, good. Okay, I expect the same enthusiasm. And then the fifth question is Masjid Teherna excuse me, Teheranian has spoken of development becoming a or Anne? Any idea? Any idea, guys? Okay, I'll tell you why development becomes an ism. Okay, the answer for this is ism. What do you mean by an ism? Okay, because understanding ism, I'm telling you again, I'm repeatedly telling you, development communication is not only development communication alone. Okay, there are a lot of things which makes it development communication. So I have read a book that's in Kannada. Okay, so how this developmental process is becoming ism, okay, in political sphere. Okay, in political sphere, I'm just linking it. That is how I understood it. Is the answer is ism. Okay, so can I just share it with you? Can I share that with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now it says that book talks about how development has become a manifesto of political parties. Okay, so all the political parties are talking about development as their manifesto or important thing. So nothing else. It is only development. They are like, they can fool people by using this development word, uh, you know, word in every sphere for that matter. Okay, so we will give education, free education. That is again a social development that they're talking about. Drinking water, okay, and then place shelter. Okay, so the development, how it is being turned as an ism. So there is a difference between your ism and then the other word for that matter. Okay, so when it becomes ism, it is an ideology. Are you getting my point, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so when it is an ism, it becomes an ideology. Okay, so you have socialism, you have communism. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so that is where it becomes an ism. And here, development as a word, it has become ism in country like India. Is that clear to you? It is not a philosophy. It is not an idea. Okay, idea, philosophy, and ism are three different terms for that matter. So this you have to understand, underline there why it becomes ism there. So Majid Teherananian, maybe you wouldn't have read about him, okay, but you should have the other readings. What you do know, that influences a lot when you answer the questions, especially in NET exam or any competitive exams for that matter. That's the reason you should have a very vast reading, very deep reading of newspapers. Okay, okay. So next, let me go to the next. We are running like, I don't think if I can finish all my PPTs. Okay, so this is assertion. Oh, this is also very, very important. So this is like, you have to be very careful when you read assertion and then the reason for it. Okay, so you should interlink it, whether it is going hand in hand or whether it is complementary or it is not. Okay, that is again comes through your reading. Okay, so it is difficult to use folk media for the development of scientific temperament among masses in rural India. Okay, so what is the reason that they have given? Okay, folk media depend upon religious discourse to reach out the masses with moralistic overtones. Don't you think it is both true? Okay, and the reason assertion is something which they want to give you a statement. Okay, what is the reason for that particular statement? How are they supporting? What is the supporting statement that they're giving to prove the assertion that they've given is very, very important. So you should carefully read and then understand whether it is making sense or not. This assertion and reason is when you know the logical reasoning very well, then I think you can answer these kind of questions. So this is very important. And then you have the seventh question is correct sequence of the development models. My dear students, this is very, very important. Usually they ask development communication, development models. Okay, usually correct sequence is asked. Okay, or they would ask the wrong ones they might ask you. Okay, and sequence they might ask you. Okay, so or they might even ask you like, what is that, match the following also. Okay, so that's the reason I'm telling you repeatedly, models are very, very important. So this is the model in which, I mean, this is a sequence in which you understand the development models. Okay, first is dominant paradigm, and dependista is, again, it is a dependency theory. Okay, and don't get confused. And integrated rural development, and then the participatory. So it is very important for you to go through each and every models thoroughly, and what were the, like, and also very importantly, deconstruction of your dominant paradigm is very, very important. Okay, next is the developmental model proposed by Nair and White is, okay. So, and what is any idea? Any idea, like what could be the answer? Developmental model proposed by Nair and White is knowledge sharing. Do you agree with me? Okay, so this is another pattern, okay, which is being followed. Okay, please make a note of it. This is another pattern which is being followed. Like, what is a developmental model proposed by different scholars? Okay, so that's the reason you should underline, you should make a point, you should make it a habit, like, whenever you read something, you please write it in a paper, book, and highlight it, so that becomes easy for you to prepare for your exams. Okay, so this is what the development model. And then for Mikhail Bakhtin, okay, Bakhtin, essential for development. Okay, what is essential for development? What has he spoke about development? So he says the social dialogue is very important for the development. So usually, randomly, when you look into the questions, this is how it has been asked. Am I you able to hear me? Okay, I hope I am audible. And this is how the questions are asked. And the last is a very simple question. So that's the reason I was telling you, like, you will be like, thinking about maybe you're making it more complicated. Okay, but the questions like this, okay, very, very, very simple, but still it confuses you. Like, development journalism discourse aims to promote. What does it aims to promote? Is it media imbalance, media ethics, media trails, and media profit? Okay, what is it? So that you have to know. This is a very simple, very common sense question, right? I hope I need not answer this question because it is very, very simple. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're preparing, okay, so don't think that this is very simple, okay, and they won't ask this kind of a question. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, don't neglect anything. Okay, consider, like, the very simplest thing of your topic that you are studying, so that is when it becomes easy for you to answer. I hope I have just done a bit of justice to make you understand the pattern in which questions have been asked about development communication alone. Okay, so you won't have much from development communication. Hardly it is like, 2 or maximum 3 questions you will get from development communication. So please focus on the important topics that has been mentioned in the syllabus. Okay, don't make it very complicated. Okay, there is no need to make it complicated. Okay, so now what I have done, the next set of PPTs will be like, with regard to your units. Okay, so far I have just given you guidelines, okay, that you have to keep in your mind when you prepare for your NET exam. And the second part was, randomly I have taken questions related to development communication to make you understand the pattern. And the third part of my session, it is about your unit. Okay, so I have just tried to not go in detail, because in 2 hours I can't explain you the whole unit. So I have just explained a few things, and for that I have given you some questions. Okay, I hope you understand, you follow the pattern. Okay, like, the trigger, the word which triggers you. Okay, when you read something, there should be a word which triggers you. So that you must underline, and then you should be able to give me the question. But now I have, for this particular session, I have just given the question also. Okay, so here I have just taken a random definition, that is like, development is a concept of multifaceted phenomenon. Although its history goes back to the antiquities, development exceptionally preoccupied states after the Second World War in the late 1940s. These have since then been efforts for social, political, economic progress all over the world, facilitated by the quick technological evolution. So this is a very normal definition that is, that you find in your Google or anywhere for that matter. So now I have a question here. Okay, so it is just like, you must have ignored this particular aspect. Okay, but I have taken that as my question. That is, development exceptionally preoccupied states after which world war? Can someone tell me? Can anyone tell me? What is the answer? Because I purposely read the definition, and I have a question. Development exceptionally preoccupied states after
the Second World War.
Very good. Second World War.
World War.
Why did you catch that word? Who is this? Is it Charlotte?
Yes, ma'am.
Charlotte. Tell me, dear.
It was mentioned in the definition. It was highlighted there.
It was highlighted.
Yeah.
So you captured that, right?
Yeah.
So what was highlighted? You just had a guess, like, maybe this Second World War becomes very important. Yeah. So did my previous activity helped you in any way, Charlotte?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That's enough. That's the intention that I had. Okay. So this is what you have to do when you're preparing for your thing. Okay. So the next is Rogers, and this is very important. This guy is very, very important. Whenever you read about development communication, here and there he keeps coming. Okay. So I've just randomly picked up Rogers, and then he says development is a long participatory process of social change in the society whose objective is the material and social progress for the majority of population, through a better understanding of their environment. Okay, so this is the definition. Now, what might be the question? I have put up a question. Next slide is a question. Can anyone guess what could be the question? Again, it is nothing like, what is that? You need to break your head. Come on, guys, please. It's already 5-6. Okay, I'll just finish it. Yes. According to Rogers, development is a long process of social change in the society. What is it?
Participatory.
Yeah. Who was it? Boy? Other than Charlotte? Who answered? Hello. Was it Mr. Praveen?
Participatory.
Selva.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Selva. So it is participatory. Very good. So did you again use the pattern?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is it useful? Am I
Yeah.
clear? Okay, you have no
Yes. Yes.
confusions, no? Okay.
No.
So if there is any questions, like, you can stop me anytime and then you can ask me questions. Okay. So this is your first part of this thing. So that is one thing, like, according to Rogers, development is a long dash process of social change in the society. And they can even ask you, like, according to Rogers, development is participatory, non-participatory, dominant, or both A and D. Okay. So sometimes what happens, you should be very clear, like, you should write it. You just have to write it. I tell you, whatever you read, you please make a point. Okay, you write it somewhere so that it remains in your brains forever. Okay, so now the options, whatever you write, no, I mean, Rogers development is participatory, non-participatory. There might be too many things, like, it is a structural change, or organizational change, a societal change, and all that. So that you make it a point that you write all the options. So that is when you may, you won't go wrong. Okay, so that is one thing. And then the next is social change. Okay, so the first unit, if you remember, it talks about the development communication, I mean the definition of development communication, and then the concept of social change. Okay, now social change is a transformation of culture and social organization structure over time. Okay, so this is some write-up, you just read this. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, when you read, you should be able to underline some important points. Okay, underline the important points and then again read it again, so you make a note of it. Okay, so that helps you in deriving question. So now, social change is a transformation of culture, organization, structure, all the above. What is the answer?
All the above.
All the above is the answer. Very good. So you have concentrated and you have underlined the words, all the words that was given in the slide. Excellent. This is how you should be. Like, whenever you read something, you should be able to catch up the words being given there. You should know as a reader. Okay, you should know what is important, what are they talking about, what is a particular paragraph, the comprehension of paragraph. Okay, what are they trying to communicate is very, very important. So that part is what I'm talking about. Okay, so when you read a paragraph, when you prepare for your NET exam, I know how difficult it is. Okay, because anything that you read, okay, sometimes when you read the questions, especially when I was going through the recent years question papers, I don't know from where they pick the questions, right? So I just wonder. Okay, so the thing is, you just have to, it will be there. Okay, whenever you read randomly, you just make a point, just note it down. So that's more than enough when you to prepare for your NET exams. So then you have culture is one of the cause for social changes. So when you learn, when you go through the social change, there are many causes for social change. Okay, there is a culture is one of the causes. Okay, for which contributes to the social change. Okay, like that you have conflict, like that you have diffusion, like that there are so many causes. Now here I have just taken one part of the cause. Okay, so that is culture is one of the causes for social change. Okay, so in that there are different, like, the first source is innovation. So culture is one aspect, one cause. Okay, in that culture there are different sources. Okay, like invention is one source, discovery is one source, and diffusion is one source. Okay, these are the three sources of culture, and culture is one of the causes for social change. Is that clear to you? Okay, now you are reading this. Okay, so usually when you start reading about social change, this is a basic thing that you get to C. Okay, causes and the features of social change. Okay, so features of social change, they might ask you like assertion and then reason. Okay, because it is features are quite lengthy, and then it is like a statement kind and all of that. So when you look into this, like, you know, the different sources of social change, so this is how it is. This is how it goes. So now, if you have to, if you have to derive a question, here there are many causes for the social change, and culture is one of, that's what I just mentioned. So derive a question by reading the culture as cause of social change. Can you just derive? Can you just give a try? Or shall I just continue? Okay, I'll just continue because it is already 5:30. I have a lot more to cover. Okay. Okay, so you just derive the question. So then it comes the dominant paradigm works in. Okay, so as I've already mentioned, okay, what exactly the dominant paradigm talks about. Okay, what does it say? What does dominant paradigm mainly focus on? I mean, not what does it say? What is dominant paradigm of development model? I told you there are different approaches. Okay, need-based approach, right-based approach, top-down approach, and diffusion approach. So the dominant paradigm talks about top-down approach. It says that it's a repetition actually. The topmost, the creamy layer of the society, if he or she is richer, then it falls down, and the subordinates also will become or richer. They will get something. Okay, so that is what the dominant paradigm talks about. So these are the different approaches. As I said, there are many approaches to development. So you should be very clear with what exactly the model talks about. Okay, approach and then the model. So each model has an approach to it. Okay, right? It's a very basic thing. So it has an approach. So that approach you should keep in your mind. Okay, so that is one thing. And then you have corporatization of development. Okay. Again, corporatization of development is a very huge and very like, you know, important development that is happening in India. Okay, so can anyone tell me what is corporatization and what is happening in India now, the present scenario? Please, yeah, please be quick. I'm trying to make you understand, like, you know, how you should think when you come across a topic. Okay, what is the criteria that you should what criteria you should follow to understand the concept? I'm trying to do that. Yes, can anyone please, I don't want it to be like, you know, again, dominant. I don't believe in dominant or being dominant, or, you know, even in the
letting
class.
out the government agencies in the hand of corporates like railways or anything.
Very good,
That is,
very good.
yeah.
Right, you know about it. So
Yeah.
how do you know about it?
Just corporatization and the development. I just thought that will be the thing.
No.
No.
Is it Mr. Selva?
Yeah, Selva. Yeah.
Sir. Now you must
Yeah.
have read somewhere, no, that railway is going to get privatized.
Yeah. In the news,
right?
yeah.
In the news. So how do you know about the concept? That is because of reading newspaper.
Yeah, development something, because they
Yes.
say this is going to develop. So,
yes. So
yeah.
the concept that the government has, like, you know, as I said, you should link it. Okay. So I'm just giving you an idea how you should link and then how you should understand the concept. So the government said there is a theory. There is one, you know, economic growth. Okay, there are many theories. When you read economic growth, you will come to know there is one such theory like mercantilism. Okay, so mercantilism says, like, you know, we can. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I'm just recollecting it. So mercantilism says that we should give importance to the production that happens in our country. Okay, so just like what Mr. Modi is doing. Okay, so production, what happens in the country is very important. And it also talks about import and then export. Okay, so we should export more than importing. Okay, this is what exactly the mercantilism says. Okay, we should export more than importing from other country, and we should increase the production. Okay, this is what the mercantilism talks about. Is it clear to you, Mr. Silva and others?
Yes, yes,
Are you
ma'am.
all listening to me? Okay, okay. So this is what it says. Okay, and now after that, so what has happened in India post-colonialization, colonial period, and then different political parties, and then how political parties have made development as an ism. Okay, that is what I told you. Now, development has become a mantra of all the political parties. Okay, irrespective of whether it is irrespective of whether it is a national political party or a party like Aam Aadmi. Okay, every political party's moola mantra, the core mantra is development. Okay, so in the process of this development as an ism, okay, they are trying out different things. Okay, again the capitalism also comes in. Capitalism also comes into picture. I think you're all able to understand, follow me. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is when the concept of this capitalism came in, and how capitalism is playing a role. Okay. I am quite against capitalism. I don't know if you're, um, uh, I don't know whether you have understood it or not. I'm against it because your development does not happen when a person alone becomes rich. Okay, there is no point in rich becoming a richer, right? So that is when the capitalism came into picture. Okay, the whole economy of our Indian economy is changed now. Okay, that is when lot of corporate, after globalization, you should understand the scenario of India, developmental process that has happened in India, developmental process after globalization. You should have a picture of it. Okay, so this is not in your syllabus, but if you want to understand the concepts, and if you want to answer the questions, then this kind of reading is very, very important. That is what I'm trying to say. Don't be so bookish. Okay, these kind of out of the box reading is very important to understand your framed concepts. Okay, the framed concepts in your what is that what is that syllabus. Okay, so then came in this corporatization and then CSR. Okay, these concepts came into picture. So now they are saying this corporatization is something which is going to bring in development. Okay, but there are people, okay, who are against this. So now you have to, what you have to understand when it comes to corporatization, the important topics that you have to read, must and should read, is what is corporatization, by the way. That is a basic understanding that you must have before you get into the deeper understanding. Pros and cons of corporatization. Okay, it might be like, I don't know, you have a political, you as an individual, Mr. Selva has an individual stand, okay, for corporatization. But when you're looking the subject as what is it, objectively or subjectively? How should you look the subject? Subjectively or objectively? Hello? Hello? Okay. So you have, you should not have any personal, like, what is that, influence to it. So you should be very objective or subjective. You should tell me that. Anyway, so you just think about it. because it becomes very, very important. So you can't take any personal stance on anything. Okay, so you should understand the topic as just the concept. Okay, so India and the third world country. Okay, so third world country, corporatization in third world country, what are the applications? That is very, very important. You should underline that third world country and then understand corporatization. Then comes the research articles on corporatization in terms of development. Please read lot of research articles on different concepts. Okay, don't limit yourselves to like, you know, what is there in the book, in the textbook. Okay, so corporatization is beyond your textbook, beyond your syllabus. Okay, so that you have to understand in order to answer your question. So this is very, very important. So please kindly read research articles related. Okay, then you have campaigns by NGOs. Okay, this is also part of your syllabus. So campaigns by NGO, why does campaign by NGO becomes important? Because you have lot of what is that? Um, what is it? NGOs, okay, international NGOs and then national NGOs, and a very small NGOs which caters to the needs of the immediate you know, community as such. Okay, so there are NGOs which works for women rights. There are NGOs which works for environmental issues. Okay, so Greenpeace is an international NGO which works for the environmental issues. Okay, so like that there are many what is that, NGOs which works for different cause. Okay, so then you have wildlife fund, okay, which works for wildlife animals, okay, in order to protect. And then Action Aid is another NGO. Why I'm elaborating is it is important to know NGO in the process of development. Very, very important. Okay, so they might ask you a question like, you know, I have a question for this. Okay, they might ask you a question, what does it, what the name of the campaign and which NGO did a particular campaign. Okay, so I'm just elaborating it because it is very, very important to know NGO's role. Okay, so it was not possible, like, you know, NGOs came into picture because a lot of funds were there. Okay, so different countries invested their money into India in order to develop certain communities and as such. So the CSR, that is corporate social responsibility, also, like, you know, trying to put in their money into development of communities. Okay, so I think you all know that, you know, different NGOs have different role to play, and then they cater to a particular community. Okay, so Action Aid is like, you know, it is a law forum. Okay, legal law forum where there are lawyers. Okay, and you know how expensive the lawyers are, private lawyers are. Okay, and government lawyers, you know how things go in government with the government lawyers. Okay, so you know all this. So this Action Aid is going to take up the issues related to, say for example, slum. Okay, so slum, some person comes, okay, the constructor comes and then he just demolishes the slum. Okay, so then who will fight against the slum people? Is there any lawyer who is ready to take up this what is that case? No one. Okay, so such cases will be handled by Action Aid. Okay, and Breakthrough is another organization which talks about which addresses the domestic violence. And as again Vimochana, it's not working now, it is not open, but they did a wonderful you know, they contributed like anything in addressing women issues. Okay, especially the domestic violence issues. So Breakthrough, I don't know how many of you know about the campaign which they came up with. Anyone here who knows the name of the campaign? It was there on television also. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any idea about?
No, ma'am. No.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard of these NGOs?
Yeah. ActionAid. I know. I have worked with ActionAid.
Okay, you have worked with
Yeah.
ActionAid. What do they
Yeah.
do? Was I
They. Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. They do the
Yes.
exact thing. Yeah. They actually
Hmm.
fought for slum dwellers in
Hmm.
Chennai.
Hmm.
So I was
It
just
is an
part of the
international.
designing team.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Is it Mr. Selva?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You know Clifton?
Clifton. No, I don't know.
Clifton from Bangalore. He is a very
Okay.
brilliant lawyer. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he works in ActionAid. He was working in
Okay.
ActionAid.
Okay.
So
Okay. I worked
breakthrough
in Chennai
Chennai. Okay.
branch.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So Breakthrough is another organization which addresses again women issues. Okay, they had this campaign called. Any guesses? Okay, the campaign by Breakthrough to address domestic violence. Okay, so there are four options. That is Bell Bajao, and then Beti Bachao, Beti Padao, Share a Bite to Your Heart's Delight, and Bit Giving. Anyone? Any
Beti Bachao.
guess?
Beti
No.
Bachao.
A Beti Bachao to our
Bachao.
Modi's,
Bachao.
Mr. Modi's.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it was Bell Bajao.
very good. It was
Okay.
Bell Bajao, right? So Bell Bajao is like, you just have to go ring the bell and come. Say, for example, next door, okay, your neighbors are fighting, husband and wife, they are fighting, okay. So, like, it's most of the times what happens, people, though they are in the society, they isolate themselves, okay, and they think that we are not part of society. So, it is not interfering in their business, it is just as a society, as an individual in the society, as what is it? What is it? Citizen of the country. It is your responsibility to stop violence that is happening against women or any. It is not just the women. It is like bell bachao. Okay, so you just ring the bell and come back. So there is no interference. So ring bajao is bell bajao is when you the minute you uh, do the bell, I mean ring the bell, they are conscious. They become conscious and they stop the fight immediately. Okay, it is the information that you want to pass through ringing bell, that we are here. Okay, we are part of society, we are listening to you, and it is disturbing. Okay, did you all know about it? Okay, so one gave the answer. So that was Bell Bajao all about. And this I have done it. Okay, in our apartment, there were the two couples were, fighting at 1 o'clock at night. Okay, so we just rang the bell and come back, and that girl was actually saved. He was beating the girl. So this is development. Do you agree with me? The campaign by Breakthrough is a process of development. Development, it is not your GDP. Okay, it is not at all GDP. It is not at all GNP. Okay, it is something beyond your economic development. Okay, so this also contributes to the process or the holistic development of the nation. Okay, so Bell Bajao was one such campaign, okay, by Breakthrough. I just wanted to inform you. Okay, so please have an eye on the different campaigns, okay, that was carried away by different NGOs, and try to know, like, international NGOs and then national NGOs, and what are they trying to do. Okay, if you have a picture of, like, you can't have, like, there are n number of NGOs, so you can't have information about all small NGOs and all that. Try to have knowledge about international NGOs and what they do, what cause they work for, and the important campaigns done by them. Okay, is that clear to you guys? So far, is it fine?
Yes,
So no
ma'am.
problem. Okay. Okay. Yes. Then comes national communication policies. this is something like, it sounds quite new. Yes, national communication policies, right? So if you just Google, there is a policy, like, every year they have national communication policies, which talks about all communication mediums. Okay. So try to know what is communication. The basic understanding of national communication is very important, even if you're not writing NET exam. Okay. It is something like, we should all know about. Okay. But most of the times this is not discussed. Okay. So know what is national communication policies all about. Okay. Please please read, like, what policies and what are the objectives of the policy and all of that. And then knowing objectives are very, very important, because most of the times your questions are based on the objectives also, like as we just looked into. So it is like, you have objectives, what is it, objectives also you have to keep in your mind. And then what are the important or the major highlights of the policy? What does it say? Like, say for example, you have national education policy. Okay, how many of you have read the national education policy? (2019) national education policy. How many of you have an idea about national education policy of 2019? Please, guys, you just tell me, like, if you have read, good, fine. If you have not read, please read it. Okay, it is very, very important to know what is happening in our area, right? So we are all educationists, like we are into college, we are into academics, and it is very important to know national education policy 2019. So there were a lot of discussion about natural education policy. Can anyone highlight?
I just remember one point.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think the focus on mother tongue.
Very good.
Yeah, that
Very
was the
good,
major
Mr.
thing which was discussed actually in the
Yes,
media.
and people were did against it. They said
Yeah,
no, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
they said Hindi cannot be our national
yeah, Hindi, yeah,
language, and they can't impose. And it is nowhere in the constitution that Hindi is, national. What is that? Constitution, national language. So it shouldn't be imposed to people, like, who have their own mother tongue, right? So this was a discussion. Very good, Mr. Selva. I'm very happy. So please, like this, you should have an idea about, okay, that is when it becomes easy for you to answer. Like, at least the options which is being given, okay, you can just make out which option is, like, feasible, and at least you can just, like, what is that? You will at least have a clue. Okay. uh, Confusion is another state. Okay, but you at least can make out, like, out of 4 you can just limit yourself to 2. You're sure with 2 options that is being given. So that is why I'm trying to say reading newspaper is very, very, very important to crack your exam, any exam for that matter, because you have current affairs questions in any kind of competitive exams. Okay, we'll move further. So highlights of the policy is very important, and this was another highlight of the Education National Policy 2019. That is why it triggered people, and then they said no to it. Okay, and a lot of problems were there. I mean, a lot of educationists, and then people said no, it cannot be a single language, or it cannot become a what is it? I'm sorry. Uh, what is that? First language, second language, third language, right? Yeah, they wanted it to be the first language. Okay, so this is what the thing is. So national communication policy is important because we are all communication students. Okay, highly important. So please go through it and then know the objectives of the communication. So now I have listed out the objectives of this national communication policy. Okay, to support national development initiatives and programs. Okay, and then to rationalize multi-sectoral investments in information and communication, and to enhance access to information and communication infrastructures and new technological, especially in rural communities. So now, yeah, out of all these, 1 minute, I'll just read the rest also. Okay, to promote national dialogue on development issues by all citizens. So, okay, and to preserve national cultural identity, promote the national cultural patrimony, and then enhance the development to ensure timely, orderly, and effective growth of the information. So it is very important, the objectives. Now I have derived a question from that. Okay, so the objective of the national communication policy is to support national development initiatives and programs, to ensure human rights, and to ensure the timely, orderly, and effective growth of information and communication institutions. So when you read, I'm just elaborating it. Okay, so usually when we read, we think that if it is national communication policy, it should only talk about communication, right? So what do we do? We think of the third option, that is to ensure the timely, orderly, effective growth of information and communication institutions. Is that okay? So if we have not read, if we do not know, if you have not read, gone through the objectives of the national communication policy carefully, then your option is to ensure the timely, orderly, and effective growth of information and communication institutions. Am I right? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, got it.
Correct, no? So
Yes.
if you do not know the objectives, definitely you close your eyes and then you will tick third one as the answer. But it is, the answer is both 1 and 3. That is what I'm trying to tell you. You have to be very careful when you what is that, prepare for your exams. You should be very, very careful. You can't leave any single word like, unimportant. It is important. Okay, so that is how you have to prepare. And next is global communication system. Okay, and again, this many of us like, I think we do not know about it. Okay, this is again important, like your global communication system, nationwide and then universal. Now, before I could tell you what exactly is global communication, okay, why would global communication become so important? Communication that happens between countries, communication that happens between institutions, communication that happens between to continent. Why is it so important? Okay, so again, in this context, I'm just giving you, I'm going back and trying to explain in what way you have to understand the concepts. Okay, so if you look into, there is a book, okay, like I'm not getting that, development in third world countries. Okay, it is written by Melkote, Srinivas Melkote. It's a wonderful book. There he mentions how flow of information to third world countries are so much important. Okay, see, information is something which is very important for any matter. I can develop myself as an academician only when I know information about the research scholarships that is being given by UGC. Am I right? Yes? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So information becomes so important, right? So how information is politicized, okay, how information gets politicized, and then how it influences the entire economy of third world countries, okay, is what you have to read about. Okay, and then you will understand why global communication is so very important. Okay, why this communication between nations becomes important. Okay, so examines this particular global communication examines national and transnational media as part of a global system of news flow, political interactions, cultural exchange, compare media and interaction patterns within and across nations and cultures. Very, very important. Okay, so why this becomes important is, like, it influences, it has a greater influence on any development, any kind of development of that particular nation. Okay, that is why global communication is very important. Okay, your national policies gets influenced by global communications. Why do you think the countries come together and then sit and discuss about so many things, a lot of issues, right? Why do they think of global warming? Why should that communication should go to all other countries? Because it is something, a serious issue that has to be addressed by entire country, irrespective of which continent they belong to, irrespective of which language they speak, right? So that is why you have global meets. That is where the communication takes place. That is where what is happening in Russia. That is where what is happening in India. What are the problems that are faced by India? That is when you find a solution for it. So that's a reason global communication becomes so very important. Okay, I'll give you another example. I've written it down here. So give the example. I didn't want to miss out on this. Okay. So in Institute of Science, Bangalore, they are conducting a research. Okay. There is a very, very, unique research that they're conducting. They're doing it on conductors. Okay. So he explained it to me, but I don't, I won't be able to, just tell you as it is. Okay, it is about producing heat. Okay, so this is something which has not been which has not been done by any other countries. Okay, if this research succeeds, okay, that person who is doing the research will be given Nobel Prize. They're anticipating for a Nobel Prize. Okay, so this is the kind of research that they're doing. So they were doing this research, and they were just doing it in Bangalore, okay, a city in one, in India, one part of the state, and then it is a city. Okay, so how did it get the global recognition? Okay, so that is when they, they published their research, not complete research, not with the results. It is like just the abstract. They are trying to conduct a research based on so and so. Okay, so this got the momentum. Then the whole world started looking at Institution of Science today. Okay, so a lot of money, crores and crores of rupees have been invested, and the professor has been given, whatever he wanted, the setup, the lab, everything is been given based on his requirements. Whatever he wanted, it is there in Indian Institute of Science today. So if this publication, here it is mentioned, traditional print publications, okay, any publication for that matter, when communication when communication crosses the globe, so these kind of things happen. So that is why your development communication is important. Okay, when it is globally recognized, your communication is globally recognized, the developments can happen. Is that clear to you? So when they spoke about they spoke about global warming. Okay, there are a lot of people, and when they spoke about development, okay, sustainable development is a very recent term. Okay, it is not a old term. So why did people started thinking about sustainable development? So constructing your building is not a sustainable development. So that is when people started understanding, the government started understanding, okay, this is not the development which we have to focus on. So we should focus on sustainable development. So sustainable development is nothing but wherein you're taking consideration of, you're taking the environment into consideration, you're taking the last person of the society into consideration. So that is what is sustainable development. The development which you're planning should not affect the vulnerable community, as well as it should be for a longer period of time. Hello guys, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes.
Am I boring you?
No.
Okay, some disturbance. Okay. Okay. So that is why the global thing becomes very, very important. So I've just come to the last part of your unit, that is Gandhian concept of development. Again, it is very important. Gandhi becomes very, very important when you're talking about development, because he was a person who spoke about decentralization. If he had not spoken about decentralization, today no women would have sat in panchayat, whether it is Jilla Panchayat, Gram Panchayat, or Taluk Panchayat. Okay, so when he spoke about decentralization, he made it a point that the vulnerable, the deprived class come and sit in the decent what is it panchayat, okay, the local governance. So he spoke about local governance, economy. He said India should become, like, individual should become the owner. Okay, it is not the capitalism. It is the people of the country. Okay, people, the village, the rural development was the mantra of Gandhi. Okay, the principle of Gandhi, which he always believed in. Okay, so this is a very basic concept. Like we all know what Gandhi spoke about. Okay, and what he actually the vision that he had towards the national development of India. Okay, so socially he said education should be given and all of that, and then economically he said we should be self-sustained. Okay, it should be like each one of us should get what is it a role, or each one of us should be able to grow their individual economic stability. To have economic stability is very important. That is what he said. Then he said political decentralization is very important in order to have a representation, women representation, and deprived class representation in local governance as such. Okay, so what happens? See, I cannot go to why do we have courts like district court, and you have high court, and then you have Supreme Court? That is because it should be decentralized. So it should be the availability of the sources, the availability of the institutions to the public is very important, and that is the first place wherein you just start with your start your development process. Okay, so that is why decentralization happened. I tell you, and the reservation that Ambedkar spoke about. So reservation, if there is no reservation, no development can happen. Okay, development will happen, but it won't be a holistic development. Okay, so what would Lohia said? Okay, Lohia also spoke about this. Ambedkar also spoke about this. They had issues. I mean, Ambedkar and then Gandhi had different issues to address. They had conflicts, but finally they both spoke about the deprived classes of the society. So this reading is very important. It is not just Gandhian concept of development. Come on. Okay, it is not just Gandhi. It is not just social, economic. And you just have a deep reading about what Gandhi said, what Lohia said, what Ambedkar said. Okay, so there are many other Rajaram Mohan Rai said. So this is the basic understanding that you have to have when you are talking about things. Thank you so much, and this was my presentation, and I hope I have communicated something useful to you. I hope this will help you in developing an approach. Okay, that is very important. Explanation, apart from the explanation and information, it is the approach which has to be built in your minds. Okay, that is what I feel. So that is what I felt. It is very important. So this was my presentation. So any doubts? We have another 10 minutes. So I think you can ask questions. Hello? Carmel, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So if anyone have any questions, you can just ask the question.
I
No
will.
questions?
I would be happy if I can get some feedback so that it'll help me to, like, if I have to make any changes, then I can make it accordingly, because I would be taking again PR and corporate communication. So this was the model, like, I just wanted to um, communicate to you so that you can build an approach to prepare for your exams. Vinesh?
Good evening. Hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah, your session was actually very informative because you started with the guidelines how to
Yeah,
prepare.
yeah, yeah.
So that was very useful. So expecting more such a kind of tips. Maybe like you told right now, you
Yeah.
need to
Hmm.
find the highlighted word
Hmm.
which can
Hmm.
derive
Hmm.
as a question.
Yeah, yes.
So likewise, maybe more tips on this. There are a lot of open-ended questions. If you see the previous
Hmm. Hmm.
last December paper,
Hmm.
nothing related just comes. I don't know how to relate the question with.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I don't have right now. Maybe in the next session I will come up with 2 or 3
Sure, sure,
questions.
sure,
So
sure.
it is very open where they
Hmm.
just give 2 or 3 words and they give the options.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
don't know how to connect with in
Okay.
what area we can
Hmm.
search for those answers.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Is it Mr. Selva?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
Selva,
open.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Selva.
Sure, sure. And one more thing,
Yeah.
like, you can take my number, and
Okay.
anytime you have any, like, issues with your
Questions.
preparations, you
Okay.
can always contact me.
Thank you very
And
much.
it's not that, like, what is that? I can answer all your questions, but
Yeah,
to
I
an
understand.
extent, I can definitely, like,
Yeah.
give suggestions.
Okay, okay, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So Vinisha was
Vinisha.
raising hand. So
Yes, yes.
if you want to ask some question, you can ask.
Yeah, please. I think her, okay, some chat box there is.
No,
Madam.
okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay, so we will wind up the session.
okay, yes.
Okay, so okay, I'll just thank
No,
you.
others, no, 1 minute, Carmel, because
Okay, yeah.
it helps me to prepare for my next class. Like, is this, like, pattern fine? Or would you like me to, like, explain more? How is it? Like,
Ma'am, this is Charlotte.
yes, Charlotte, yes.
Given the time constraint, I still feel you have done a really good job because your notes are actually very elaborate.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Then I will follow the same thing, no, for my.
Yes, ma'am. Please follow the same pattern because even I had problem, like Selva sir said, to derive a question and then connect the link.
Yes.
That is not being taught actually, and you have considered that point. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. Then I will follow the same methodology so that it might help you in PR also. This is a common way for any topic for that matter. So you can always follow it. Yeah.
And ma'am, if you could please leave your contact number in the chat box. I think that would be helpful.
See here, 660-371. Yes, done.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, yes. Can the recording be shared? That part I do not know.
We will just inform you.
Yeah, we will get back to you, Mr. Praveen. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot for the feedback. Otherwise, if we don't have the feedback, we won't know whether whatever we have done is what is it, useful or not. Basically, we want to do such things like, it should be useful to you. So Okay, I will follow the same pattern, and thank you so much.
So thank you, Mamta ma'am, for this wonderful
Thank
session.
you.
So
Thank you,
I
Karma
hope
ma'am.
that this was a really informative session for you participants, because you
Yeah.
get some kind of in-depth knowledge about the subject. I know it's difficult to cover the entire topic within 2 hours, but she gave a general guidelines on how to approach with the subject and how you are structuring the question, how you can figure out the answer. So I hope that you got clarity about all these things. So thank you, ma'am, for this session, and thank you all the participants for your active participation. You cooperated really well. And if you have any suggestions, so you can, okay, if you write in the chat box, it will be useful for us. And so tomorrow we will be again having two sessions. So the sessions will start from 1:30 p.m. So the session will be on reporting and editing, and the second section will start from 4 to 6 p.m. That is advertising and marketing communication. So the ID for the Zoom will be shared in the WhatsApp group. You can just log in with that ID. So thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karmal ma'am. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Shall I end the meeting?
Yes, yes.
Okay.